Welcome back, Indie Game Fanatics, to another first look video. In this one, we're going to be checking out the demo for Sultan's game. Real quick, the first thing I want to mention real fast is, as you guys might know, I typically have to adjust the music volume down to a more reasonable level when I first go in. And it was higher, but I just want to applaud the developers of this game because listen to this. Watch the slider and listen to the music volume. I love it. Most of the time when you turn down music volume levels, 20% increments, 1 through 100, you go down 20 and the volume's barely adjusted. In this one, it actually works incrementally very, very well. And I just wanted to point that out real quick because that is not something I see a lot of times in indie games, a detail that is taken seriously. And as somebody who's always wearing headsets, I very much appreciate it. Yeah, so let's talk about the game a little bit, shall we? Alright, so Sultan's game. The Sultan commands you to play a cruel game. Each week you must draw one of 4 special cards. The Carnality card requires you to seek carnal pleasures. Extravagance compels you to spend lavishly, conquer forces into dangerous expeditions, and Bloodshed demands a human sacrifice. Sultan's game is expected to release in Q1 of 2025. It is being developed by Double Cross and published by 2P Games. And so yeah, let's check out the demo to this one. Long, long ago, in a distant land, there was a mighty Sultan. 8 years ago, the Sultan ascended to the throne over his father's corpse and inherited this vast empire. His was a cruel and cunning ruler, ruthless to enemies and kin alike, and had an innate thirst for the misfortune of others. He made his subjects fear him, which made his rule unshakable. Wealth, status, slaves, he had whatever he desired. People bent their backs before him. The flowers of the winter garden bloomed overnight at his command. Our invincible monarch. We live in a great empire. A king favored by the true God. My love, my eagle. Boring. Day after day, the great Sultan had exhausted all earthly pleasures, all the things that past sultans and kings had enjoyed. Ultimately, he got tired of it. To have everything but no joy was truly vexing. I can't relate. I can't relate to this game already. This is terrible. What fun shall I have today? Is there nothing new to please me? Your Majesty, someone outside pleads for an audience to present you a game. Bring them in. The stranger said she was a magician from a faraway land. She wanted to offer the Sultan a game that had fascinated many kings and monarchs of other lands. The core of the game is to experience your power in a more exciting and interesting manner. Have a box of cards, each representing a pleasure only a sultan can enjoy. Every time you draw, you will get a random card. In other lands, they are called sultan cards. You will need to complete the tasks marked on the card. First to exhaust all the cards in the box will become the true champion, the Sultan of Sultans. There are 4 types of tasks in total. If you allow me, I would like to explain them one by one. Is this suggesting that there's multiple sultans playing at the same time? She respectfully raises the wooden box. Please click the card box to draw your first card. Silver Carnality card. Note the card includes 2 elements. Carnality refers to physical pleasure, and silver refers to its background color. Its tier, that is, the tier of the pleasure object. Although all creatures are as insignificant as ants before you, some are slightly nobler than others, and you, Great Sultan, have the right to determine their fate. So I'm assuming that refers to the colors of these characters who serve you. I am always happy to explain the Sultan's game to you, but of course, as the supreme infinite wisdom sun-like esteemed Sultan, even without my explanations, you will surely master the game quickly. Alright. The Sultan drew the card of Silver Carnality, meaning he must engage Carnality with someone of silver tier. Or he could choose to whip, molest, or torture them, as long as it brings physical pleasure to him. Once his desire is fulfilled, so did the requirement of the Carnality card. You've triggered an event. Click here to open it. To break this card, I need to personally have sex with someone of gold or silver tier. To fill the Sultan card, you need to place it in the event slot. The Sultan revealed the silver card. Until this moment, the courtiers thought it was a joke. They all wore cautious smiles and tried not to spoil his mood or fall victim to the game. The Sultan, however, scanned their... Wait. Sorry, the cards are talking while I'm trying to read this. The Sultans, however, scanned their faces with amusement. He was the Great Sultan, who could laugh off everything in the world except for the game. The game was something he took seriously. Tips. Place the Sultan card and the Carnality card and the target of Carnality into the corresponding slots to start the event. Use the silver Carnality card, target either a gold or silver character. Gold character or silver character. Alright, so we gotta take this card of the Sultan and silver gold card. And then go. His pleasure, click end of day to progress the game. Silver card was a joke. They all were... Alright, so what's going on? Sultan chose seductive consort as target of the Carnality. Was overwhelmed by this sudden favor in the public. She ignored one important fact. The Sultan only wanted to see women fight for him. But he did not like being treated as a woman's trophy himself. Ooh. Woman proudly walked towards the Sultan, pressing her body against him, laying her during the lemming, she found herself. The other consorts particularly enjoyed the jealous green face of the aged one. She even left scratch marks on the noble Sultan. Long nails. Finally, her action bored the Sultan. The next moment, the woman laying the golden throne had her throat grasped. She panicked like a sheep that wasn't submissive enough, but struggled in vain. Finally, she quieted down. Her lifeless eyes, the silhouettes of the courtiers, started fading, blurring, and the court session was over, or perhaps her life was draining away. Okay. Well, that completed that card. This was truly a game made for him. He started to draw a second card. What do we get? Bloodshed. A fine diversion for a ruler. You must have experienced much blood and agony, but the beauty of this game is that you never know what kind of game you will enjoy next, thus making each game more interesting. I'm always happy to explain Sultan's game. We'll leave. Sultan drew the gold Bloodshed card, requires him to kill a gold tier character. A good gold bloodshed. Who should it be? A loyal consort, or a formidable general, or... Alright, so we gotta take, I don't know who Verchilli is. But, let's kill the general. Goodbye, general. Sultan's most loyal comrade. They used to have each other. Spelling error. Spelling error. They used to had each other's back. Should be have each other's backs on the battlefield. Since when did he diminish himself into a foolish coward, clapping his hands for the Sultan's every decision? Going back 20 years, he could draw his sword and cut down the magician that had swayed the monarch. But now he was lying on the ground like a broken sack, waiting for soldiers to drag him into the death row cell. Card complete. Well, at least my Sultan's having a good time. Extravagance. Requires you to squander wealth. Stone Extravagance will only cost a tiny portion of Sultan's wealth. This game isn't only about bad things happening to you. Sultan laughs. See, now I have to reward you with something. Courtiers forced a few chuckles from their throats. It's a large sum of money, enough to drive anyone insane. If it's a gold extravagance card, maybe we can get... At least today's event won't lead to tragedy. Lowest level extravagance Sultan card. It has a stone texture. The illustration faintly depicts a scene of a benevolent person donating his belongings, but unfortunately his face has been erased. Sociability. The ability to understand the intentions of others or to manipulate the intentions of others. Extravagance owned. I'm not quite sure what we're supposed to be doing here. Okay. So that, Sultan's wealth, and women can all be given as rewards. Ah. So I'm giving the nameless beggar some gold coin. Everyone praised Sultan for his show of benevolence. Someone said 5 gold coins were enough to feed a family for a week, but immediately ridiculed by another, claiming a poor man could never make 5 gold coins in a year. Someone suggested he could buy a head of livestock and live off it. Others argued that he could invest the money in small business growing his fortune. While they were imagining the offspring of the nameless beggar would repay Sultan tenfold, 100-fold, or even more, the beggar had his throat slashed in a dark alley in the lower town. His fingers were mangled because he held on to the coins so tight. Those coins were supposed to change his fate. No. Or a nameless beggar. The thrilling drama of yesterday seemed to still linger in the place. The courtiers all looked depressed and weary. They stared at the magician who was standing by the throne with the wooden box filled with cards. I'm always happy to explain Sultan's game. Oh, we got Conquest. This time Sultan drew a bronze Conquest card. Conquest meant taking what belonged to others, and bronze tier corresponded to the size of a small town. Fortunately, there were enough targets in Sultan's map to choose from. Sultan took his royal sword and decided to give it to the subject who is willing to conquer the place for him. Okay. Placed a tactics, prosperous town, drag a bronze conquest card here. So the conquest card goes here. And choose a leader for the army. Let's send our warrior. I didn't do anything with the royal sword, though. Should I do that instead of the tactics card? No. Alright, so we got available, attribute check, you need at least 1 to succeed. Oh, we got 8, so we succeeded. Easy victory. The Sultan's army beheaded the guardian of the city. Just a few months ago, the Sultan had promised the city independence and autonomy. The guardian even gratefully kissed the Sultan's feet at that time. All told, the task of the bronze conquest card has been fulfilled. I've had enough fun in the last 2 days, the Sultan nodded to the magician. This is a nice game. I fully understand it now. Come on, let's continue to play. After several rounds of practice, Sultan got a hang on the game. Later, he would draw several Sultan cards in one day and complete them in the most dramatic ways. It only took 14 days for him to run out of all the Sultan cards, setting the fastest game record ever. As he anticipated, every victory came at a cost. With each draw, someone would disappear from the palace, becoming part of the Sultan's game. During these 14 days, the palace was filled with screams, cries, and insane moans. Finally, the cursed box was empty. Courtiers all sighed in relief. The Sultan's game was finally over. To their surprise, the magician put all the broken cards into a bag, shook it hard, and the cards were all mysteriously restored by her witchcraft. Great, we can play it again, the Sultan was so happy that he clapped his hands. Give me the box. Let me draw a card. Let's see what fun is waiting for me today. No, this must be stopped. Someone has to dissuade the Sultan from playing this absurd game. You take a deep breath and step forward. Give a feisty rebuke, or raise a heartfelt admonition. I'll give a feisty rebuke. Assess Sultan in the court, seeking justice for those innocent victims. You spoke for a long time, but the Sultan didn't care at all, and sadly neither did the magician. You stopped, exhausted, pondering your life was about to end, but the Sultan suddenly turned his mocking gaze towards you. Really, really, he mused, a wise monarch shouldn't do this, but a wise monarch shouldn't abandon games that bring him joy, right? So why don't you do it for me? You are my loyal subject. I command you, play this Sultan's game for me. He burst into laughter as he stood there dumbfounded. Your story begins. How will you end the Sultan's game? Will you win by drawing all the cards like the Sultan himself, or... Interesting. You come from a noble family that has served the Sultan for generations. Please choose your family's origins. Merchant family, Start with 5 coins. Traditional noble, influence +3, military family, ancestral armor +1. Ooh. Money. Give me money. Is the personal ability you're most proud of? Wisdom. Conservative, old-school nobles are keen to keep slaves to show their authority, while open-minded young nobles influenced by progressive ideas tend to form cliques outside the palace. What do you love most about your wife, who has always accompanied you? For the Sultan, choosing a surrogate player was also part of his game. He ordered you to play in his stead and pardoned you for any crimes you may commit to complete the game, be it murder, adultery, robbery, or even raising an army. Not because he particularly felt for you. He only did this in the hope that you could put up a more spectacular show in the game. Remember, you only have 7 days to complete the task of assaulting card. Fail it, and he will cut off your head at the sunrise of the 8th day. Bloodshed. Oh, crap. Bloodshed refers to what you need to do, and silver refers to the background color. Its tier, that is, the tier of the target. Silver is the 3rd tier, which means you can only use it on silver and gold tier targets. If you are not happy with the cards you drew, you still have one more chance to change it today. Regress. I have all the time in the world. Do you have anything to ask? How many Sultan cards do I have left? How many days have I survived? You have to change the card. Once every 7 days, you can return a Sultan card and draw a new one. However, please note that the countdown for the execution does not change. Be cautious. Please return the Sultan card to this box. The only reason why it doesn't make sense is because literally I'm the only person that's high enough for this card to be used on. Alright, Extravagance card. No, I can't do that. Chat with her, game tips. Use Sultan card types, price of the game, game time, daily life. Got it. Okay. Huh. Alright, so far from the demo, it looks like the demo is actually you playing as the one playing the Sultan's game, which seems pretty cool. I don't like that they had that like 20-minute tutorial when you can ask about anything that you're not sure of to be explained. Good fame, your reputation for doing good deeds. In this game, it also reflects the effort to avoid misuse of the Sultan card. Infamy, your reputation for committing evil deeds. Influence, rogue name. And clairvoyance, your sensitivity to various stuff. So, complete task the Sultan card before the execution date in 7 days. What is this? Did one. Okay, so these are the achievements and like rewards. This is where you can talk to her. I am thinking. Drag a card here to trigger thinking. You've got managing the estate. People are still willing to come under your roof and share words, promises, and opportunities. This is done automatically every turn. The higher the resulting value the greater the gold coin income. You can use extravagance cards via the I am thinking to decorate the house to increase your income. If you get a card with the location tag, you can try to put it in. Interesting. Bookstore business. This isn't the largest bookstore in town, but certainly the most refined and oldest one. If you're willing, you can surely find some good books here. You visit the bookstore without spending money, but you can't buy any books. Most books can be read in the I am thinking section, increasing character attributes. Spend 1 gold coin to randomly get a book. Alright, so I'm going to the bookstore. The more successful the check, the rarer the intelligence obtained. An excellent check can generate new rituals. Represents the character's ability to influence others, as well as their presence in the realm of magic, sociability. Okay. Interesting. And audience with the Sultan. Slander. Sultan brings consorts or slave girl to court. Old noble. Noble speaking in court today. You can go yourself or send a follower who is a noble to go. You can offer everything you have to the great monarch in exchange for his favor, which might not be as you expected. You may ask him for anything, but you might not be able to afford the cost. Frequent appearances in palace are necessary. Missing a friend only loses some benefits, but missing an enemy means not knowing what they plan to say to the Sultan. You can decide whether to send someone to palace based on the amount of support and oppose in court. Support and oppose comes from randomly attending ministers and consorts to try to get along with people. 3 pieces of slander will trigger the Sultan's cruel missions. Visiting the palace can give you some intelligence. When the Sultan gets bored, the audience will temporarily stop, giving a chance to rest. So these are my characters. One's got physique and combat, my wife, and the other one's got 2 and everything. So what I'm gonna probably do is we're gonna do send him to the courtyard. We're gonna go to the bathhouse and send her there. And then managing the estate, we're going to put the extravagance card in there, I think. Although it looks like it can't right now. You know, we'll take care of things. Okay, so I don't have a noble right now to take care of things. But this will be turn 1. End day. Alright, we're going to eavesdrop in the bathhouse. You need at least one to have a chance of success. If something or someone hasn't been discussed in the bathhouse, it just doesn't exist. It's time to test your charisma and sociability. Oof. Didn't get any news. Ordinary bath. Alright. Palace intrigues have made the Sultan somewhat wary. Sending someone there has at least one benefit. You can receive useful intelligence in real time. Alright, so we managed to grab the tactics card. This isn't the largest bookstore in town. We got Words of the Sage. Need at least 2 successes to have a chance to pique their interest. If you're both nobles, difficulty decreased by 1. Oof. Taste the wisdom morality. Strange merchant invites you to invest in their caravan. They plan to depart soon, traveling along the coast to transport eastern goods to the district north. If they arrive smoothly, a hefty profit awaits. However, long-distance trades are always fraught with various risks. Express doubt. For safety reasons, you ask the merchant to provide his identity, ask for his documents, and inquire about the goods they have prepared. In the end, he stammers and hurriedly leaves. They might have been swindlers or smugglers, but either way, your property remained unscathed. Okay. People are still willing to come under your roof and share words, promises, and opportunities. No one manages it, so of course there is no income. Ah, I think I get it. Flyer, we have the best girls here. Welcome to have fun. House of Delights. On your way to court, you ran into Nawfal. This difficult fellow is always opposes you, his colleagues, and sometimes even the Sultan. You were prepared to deal with his usual sarcasm, but he didn't say a word. He just looked at you for a while with a meaningful look in his eyes. Maybe you should find a chance to meet with him. Alright, so we have 2 more events. Interesting. So it looks like if I want more people, I have to go to managing estates, where I can actually do... I don't want to do that. I want to do... You can use extravagant cards via I Am Thinking to decorate the house. I need 5 gold coins, though. So I can get that eventually. Alright, the other thing I want to do is... Words of Sage for the I Am Thinking. Let's see what that does. Everything in the book, provided you understand it. Events where Sage have appeared. What'd that mean? Alright, reading can improve yourself, so develop a habit of reading. I'll have my Myra be the one to read. How do you know that I have been secretly recording your words and actions for 3 years? Oh. Wait a second. We gotta not do that. How do I stop this? No. Once I said it, I can't undo it, even though I haven't ended my turn? I'm sorry, but that's a little bit ridiculous. That should have ended my turn. Alright, what's going on here? 4 coins. If you're willing to pay double, you can remove a corresponding Extravagance card. Okay. Alright, well, since I can't change these after I set something in them, which is ridiculous, we're just going to leave this be and end turn. I should be able to attract somebody to my court. I could have gotten inside information if I was there. I know I did. Give my guy wisdom. Morning. Alright, so we didn't get anybody, but we did get another gold coin. What does inside information do? Some unspoken rules and tactics practices. Attribute checks, +1 sociability, 1 wisdom, provides 1 reroll opportunity. Okay. I need to pick up another book. Alright. End day. Alright, so we got Tales of Valor. We have a 6. Oh, come on. Reroll. There we go. Alright, so we got Insight. Hey. Alright, well, we got a bunch of gold. That's very helpful. Market news. The commercial street grandly opens, offering a wide variety of products and excellent quality and low prices. Alright, so managing the estate, we need to do... I want to get rid of the Extravagance card, so let's do a house renovation with it. Oh, wait. I need to do this one. There we go. And visit. Okay. What happened here? The front gate is tightly closed, clearly not intended to entertain an unwelcome guest. Has he forgotten that you can now legally kill him? Yes, I can kill him now. but you can't help but think as long as you draw a Bloodshed card that would acquit you. And prepare some henchmen. You can bring a little gift when visiting, wait until he lets his guard down, and then strike the fatal blow. Or even if you don't kill him, you could force him to explain what the glance meant. While we brought the Tales of Valor, he seemed to have expected your arrival, but he was a bit surprised by the gift you brought. He paused for a moment before taking it, and then suggested going to a quiet place to talk. Okay. So we're having a private meeting. You don't have either of those. So in the meantime, we're going to have her go manage the estate, and we will send him to the bathhouse this time. And day. Frequent appearances in palace are necessary for missing friends. Slander grows. Ooh, we got a slander card. At least one to succeed. Got it. Got some more inside information. Ugh, he failed me. Recently, several wells in the Royal Sea have suddenly turned bitter, prompting many complaints. Sultan asks for your opinion. Investigate the non-bitter ones? Okay. So why does the well water taste bitter? You sense something is not simple. After investigation, you discover that some well owners deliberately put lime in others' wells. Such despicable tactics have recently doubled their earnings at the cost of bitter-tasting water for the entire city. The issue is resolved, but some people are punished. But since you blocked others' income, it's understandable they bear grudges. Rogue name +1, influence -1. Alright, so we met with the guy. I have heard about your situation. This is a disaster, he said, and almost sigh. Everyone will be dragged into the whirlpool of fear and suspicion, living lives worse than death, especially you. You'll do unimaginable things to survive. You will kill your loved ones, lose your wealth, trample on distant lands, and betray your wife. But after the game is over, what will you get? A title of Vizier? Sorry. We both know the Sultan doesn't need wise ministers. He stepped closer and lowered his voice. Do you want to end this game ahead of time? Do you have a way? As long as the source of the disaster is dealt with. Are you talking about the Sultan? Faced with such bluntly spoken words, Paul looked at you calmly and honestly nodded slowly. It's not easy, but it's the only way to free this land from the Sultan's rule. You were silent for a long time before you asked, how do you plan to do it? It's not I, it's we, or even you. Only you have the hope of accomplishing this with the power grafted onto you by the Sultan. We need an army, we need someone to open the state gates for us, and the Sultan has a strong magic ring. We must seize it to have any hope. He detailed the Red Side plan to you, looking serious and determined as if he thought it over millions of times. He suddenly remembered many years ago when he first saw him in the palace. He was a cynical young man, clashing countless times without knowing when to stop. Gradually, his family became more and more neglected, and no one wanted to associate with him anymore. And later, they stopped saying anything at all. No one could change the Sultan and his rule. With this opposing voice gone, the palace settled into a uniform, frightening, and unspoken silence. You don't know when he completely lost hope with the Sultan or when he started brewing this nearly impossible plan, but suddenly you understood the look in his eyes a few days ago. Hidden within it was hope. Hope. Why do you dare tell me this? Aren't you afraid I'll approach you as Sultan? You had the chance, yet you didn't use those cards on me, did you? I was just betting that you haven't completely submitted to this game yet. So you delve deeper into the relevant details. When the moon climbed up the tree, he bid farewell and a kind apology. I'm sorry to avoid the Sultan's suspicion. I can't help you openly. When you need me, send me a message, and we will meet here again. You nodded to show your understanding. Thus, under the moonlit night, a secret pact was signed, and your hands clasped together. Perhaps it was from this night that the path of destiny begins to turn to another ending. You need to spend some more time on the completed renovation of your home. Again, English. Need to spend more time on the completely renovation of your home, or completed, or completion. I don't know. You've completely renovated your home. Goodbye, Extravagance card. There's the Bloodshed card. Bloodshed refers to what you need to do. Two days left before I can change the card again. I'm not sure if... Okay, so because I played it. So as long as I clear a card within 7 days, it'll reset the execution timer. I have 7 days each time to complete a card. It looks like I'm not quite sure when this demo is supposed to end. It might go all the way through a single playthrough. Change of Dynasty. Regicide Plot, which we have. The Sultan's Magic Ring, or an ally with at least 15 magic. Use a special token to open the city gate, and you need a troop with combat strength of at least 20. So you can kind of like, I don't know. I'm actually really getting engaged in this game. It seems to start out pretty simply, but as you get further into it, it kind of opens up and becomes more, has more depth to it as you play more of it. In a way that actually I'm finding interesting and very promising. Yeah, we're going to leave it off here. I don't want to do too much more. We're running out of time, and the suspense, like, this is a nice spot to kind of leave things at, where we've just unlocked the ability to attempt to rebel against the Sultan. Yeah, this game, I think it's a very interesting and promising game. I'll be definitely adding it to my wish list. I highly recommend that you add it to yours as well. I'll include a link to the Steam page in the description down below. It should be coming out in the first quarter of 2025, so within the next 4 months, roughly, you should be able to get this game. And if you'd like, you can definitely check out the demo and play through it further to see what else is in the demo and whether or not it would continue to interest you. But yeah, that's gonna be it for Sultan's game. The tutorial was way too long. For something where you could literally just go here and chat with her and ask about the types of cards, tiers, price of the game, game time, daily life, who she is. I think like that was a bit too much of a tutorial in a demo. If that was the tutorial for the full game, I think that's actually really solid tutorial, but the demo did not need it at all. The demo should just be allowing you to just check out what the gameplay is kind of like and figure it out, especially when you've got the game tips here to explain things if you're struggling. The tutorial makes sense for the full game, but not this. Other than that, I don't have too much criticism. This is a game with a lot of reading, so if you're into more action games, this might not be for you. However, I like the idea that it's a blend between choices matter and storytelling that leaves me more fascinated in what's going to happen next than either one or the other more focused on. It's a good blend. Yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you again next time.